Welcome back to video number 3. Now, since this is intended to be a summary, we're not going to read verbatim every word in the entire chapter. We'll probably end up covering most of it, and I will then interpolate from there. Now, this is the chapter on desire, so in summation at the end, I'm going to have a few things to say about a burning desire, but I think it's very obvious already that there's a reason why Napoleon Hill made this the first chapter after the introduction itself. And that is, without a desire, if there isn't something that you really, really, really would like to have, and I mean really would like to have it, it's not going to show up. If there's like 100 things that you just casually kind of would like to have, maybe, perhaps, I don't know, it seems like it'd be good, some of that stuff, probably most of it, will eventually vibrate its way into your life in varying degrees. At the same time, to get that something that just makes you go, oh, yes, 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 that is what holding in my hand, living my life like, is what I am choosing. I gotta have that. I will have that. That is mine, damn it. That takes a burning, lustful, obsessive desire in order to get there. Now, some of you might say, hey, well, there's nothing in my life, that one thing that I gotta have like that. I'd kind of like to have a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this, a little bit of this balanced life that people talk about. If that's what you really, really like, if that's what's turning you on, get a burning desire for that. Get a burning desire for the balanced life. It's a wonderful thing to have if that's what you enjoy. By all means, enjoy and experience. Be, do, have, enjoy, and experience anything and everything that you like to be, do, have, enjoy, and experience. Continuing. Skipping ahead a little bit. It may be of further help to know that the 6 steps recommended here were carefully scrutinized by the late Thomas A. Edison, who placed his own stamp of approval upon them as being not only the essential steps for the accumulation of money, even necessary for the attainment of any definite goal. And here's the key part. The steps call for no hard labor, which is why this book is not called Work Hard and Grow Rich. They call for no sacrifice. This book is not called Sacrifice and Grow Rich. They do not require one to become ridiculous or credulous. To apply them calls for no great amount of education. It doesn't say get an education and grow rich. Be smart and grow rich. Though the successful application of these 6 steps does call for sufficient imagination. Imagination is a thought. This book is Think and Grow Rich. Imagination enabling one to see and understand that the accumulation of money is not to be left to chance, good fortune, and luck. Of course, he'll say it, I believe it was in this book. It may have been in The Law of Success in 16 Lessons, maybe in both. He did say that luck is the creation of a properly focused mind. But when he's talking about chance, good fortune, and luck, that means just like throwing up your hands and whatever will be, and just la-di-da through life, and what I get, and there ain't nothing I can do about it. Victim mentality. When you focus your mind with imagination, concentration, and desire, even luck is under your control. Isn't that amazing? One must realize that all who have accumulated great fortunes first did a certain amount of dreaming, hoping, wishing, desiring, and planning before they acquired money. You may as well know right here that you can never have riches in great quantities unless you work yourself into the white heat of desire for money, actually believing you will possess it. If you do not see great riches in your imagination, you will never see them in your bank balance. Never in the history of America, and this is true today, probably more than when he wrote this, never in the history of America has there been so great an opportunity for practical dreamers as now exists. We who are in this race for riches should be encouraged to know that this changed world in which we live is now demanding new ideas, new ways of doing things, new leaders, new inventions, new methods of teaching, new methods of marketing, new books, new literature, new features for the radio, new ideas for moving pictures. And back of all this demand for new and better things, there's one quality which one must possess to win: definiteness of purpose, the knowledge of what one wants, and a burning desire to possess it. The business depression marked the death of one age and the birth of another. So be on the cutting edge. Just because one window closes in one side of the room, a door opens up over here, if you're looking for it. And what'll make you look for it? The desire to fucking find it. When you really, really want to find something, you'll look until you will. That's why, quoting the Bible again, the Lord himself said, "Seek, and you shall find." Not put your feet up on the couch and be a lazy bastard, and it'll walk into your life. Seek, and you will find. That's why what I learn in Access Consciousness is so powerful, because we constantly stay in the question, and questions bring possibilities. Continuing. Marconi dreamed of a system for harnessing intangible forces of the ether. Evidence that he did not dream in vain may now be found in every wireless and radio in the world, anytime you use your cell phone. It came from what Marconi and Alexander Graham Bell envisioned. Moreover, Marconi's dream brought the humblest cabin and the most stately manor house side by side. It made the people of every nation on earth backdoor neighbors. It gave the President of the United States a medium by which he may talk to all the people in America at one time and on short notice. Now we have a president who talks on Twitter. And Twitter is a byproduct of both the phone from Alexander Graham Bell and Marconi's wireless communication. It's amazing the way the world has changed, because, it goes on, dreams are the seedlings of reality. A burning desire to be and to do is the starting point from which the dreamer must take off. Dreams are born not of indifference, laziness, or lack of ambition. And the world no longer scoffs at the dreamer. Some do. Those who know don't. Nor do they call him impractical. If you think it does, take a trip to Tennessee and witness what a dreamer president has done in the way of harnessing and using the great water power of America. Now, this was written during the Roosevelt years, when he had the Tennessee Valley Water Authority doing amazing stuff, harnessing the power of rivers and lakes and what have you. Let's skip ahead here. Oh, here's one for sure. Most of you are familiar with this story. Helen Keller became deaf, dumb, and blind shortly after her birth. Despite her great misfortune, she's written her name indelibly in the pages of the history of the great. Her entire life has served as evidence that no one is ever defeated until defeat has been accepted as a reality. And he gives a bunch more examples. Booker T. Washington, born in slavery, handicapped by race and color. Because he was tolerant, he had an open mind at all times on all subjects and was a dreamer. And he left his impression for good on an entire race. I would say he left his impression for good on every race, because Booker T. Washington is revered not only by blacks, by whites as well, and by Asians as well, Latinos, anyone who understands and knows who Booker T. Washington was and what he did and what he stood for and what he accomplished appreciates him, regardless of their own race. Beethoven was deaf, Milton was blind, but their names will last as long as time endures, because they dreamed and translated their dreams into organized thoughts. There is a difference between wishing for a thing and being ready to receive it. No one's ready for a thing until he believes he can acquire it. The state of mind must be belief, not mere hope or wish. Open-mindedness is essential for belief. Closed minds are not inspiring of faith, courage, and belief. Remember, no more effort is required to aim high in life to demand abundance and poverty than is required to accept misery and poverty. Then he goes on to tell you a story very dear to his heart about his own son and what he was able to overcome. And that's what we will discuss in lesson number 4. Lesson number 3, I'm going to wrap up with this. And yes, I know after 2 tries, I finally know how to turn this thing off without so much, where's that damn button to turn this video off thing. He's going to tell you the story about his own son and what the doctors said he would never be able to do, and what his son did anyway. Because, in this case, a father believed in him. You know, you parents out there, some of you know, some of you have no idea what an inspiration and what you can do for your own offspring simply by believing in them. If you believe in them enough, they will believe in themselves. Once they believe in themselves, they will be able to make any kind of change necessary to accomplish what it is. So take the time to nurture, take the time to cherish, take the time to hold dear in your life all of those who mean so much to you, and watch them flower. What a great way to end this video. We'll pick it back up here on part 4.